8, is underway. Stand by for an incredible closing ceremony to Düsseldorf 2022.
2, 1. Welcome everybody to the closing ceremony of the Invictus Games 2023. Live from the Merkur Arena in Düsseldorf, Germany.
Let's welcome all of the participating nations of the Invictus Games Düsseldorf 2023. And we start with those boys and girls from down under. Please welcome Australia.
A great cheer for Australia. One of the traditions of most sporting games is this parade of nations, a chance to honour those who've entertained and thrilled over the last 8 days. The Invictus Games welcomed 3 new countries this year, Israel, Nigeria and Colombia. All 3 covered themselves in glory and are now firmly established as part of the Invictus Games family. Australia with a 31-strong team, numerous standout performances including multiple gold medalist Erin Brigden. She won a staggering 7 gold medals, 4 in the pool, 2 in indoor rowing and another gold in powerlifting. A quite phenomenal all-round performance from this versatile competitor. The Australians enjoying their moment on the stage, and Erin, well, she might well appear at the Paralympic Games in Paris in 2024. A mother of 2 from Brisbane, she was medically discharged from the army this year after 10 years of service, and she had watched the last 2 Invictus Games and was so inspired by the camaraderie to get involved herself. She has repetitive strain injury, but has overcome the odds to make herself a true sporting champion.
There were more than 500 competitors total here in Düsseldorf, most of whom are taking part in the Invictus Games for the first time. Some will have already returned home, but most have stayed to see the conclusion of this wonderful event and take part in this wonderful celebration.
Next, up the ramp, thank you very much to Australia. Welcome the fabulously Flemish Belgium.
Belgium first took part in the Invictus Games in 2019 as the 19th nation to join the movement. One of their leaders throughout these games has been Stefan Wolper, a 30-year veteran of the Belgian Air Force who has excelled in athletics. Here he won 5 medals on the track across distances ranging from the 100 to 1,500 meters, then added a 6th medal in cycling. Stefan is paralyzed below the knee, but credits watching the Invictus Games. He saw the inaugural edition on TV in 2014 as a source of inspiration. Though he has won medals here, that's not what this is all about, he says. It's about showing your best.
Thank you, Belgium. And now it's time to welcome to the stage the hosts of the next Invictus Games. Give it up for Canada!
She say, do you love me? I
Great
tell her
roar
only
inside the arena
partly. I
for
only love
Canada.
my bed and
And
my
a proud night for the Canadians. Later we'll see the flag hand over to Vancouver Whistler, hosts of the Games in February 2025. Canada with a 32-strong team, and of course they've hosted the Invictus Games before in Toronto in 2017. By the way, every competitor is receiving a souvenir medal in a leather case before they enter the stage. The front of the medal bears the Invictus Games logo engraved with the words "Recovery through Sport" and "Changing Lives and Saving Lives." On the back is Invictus Games Düsseldorf 2023 and the words "A Home for Respect."
I gotta get me one of these shirts, and you look about my size. I'm gonna come and talk to you. Keep him coming, Canada, keep him coming! Let's hear it one more time! to the evening, Düsseldorf, please welcome Colombia!
From day one of the game's first-time competitor, Colombia has demonstrated terrific spirit and skill. One of the leading performers has been John Sierra, who comes away from these games with golds and silvers across a range of disciplines, from athletics to swimming to indoor rowing. But for all that, it was in sitting volleyball where the Colombians really came together as a team, earning a well-deserved silver medal.
Everyone's watching. You know it's serious. We're getting closer. This isn't over. The pressure's on. You feel
A terrific party atmosphere inside the stadium this evening. Everybody really reveling in the occasion at the climax of an incredible week of sport. A carnival atmosphere.
This stands for Africa.
Colombians just getting a few words of encouragement to try and get them to leave the stage. Happy just to hog the limelight for a few more moments. Why not? Who can blame them?
You can count on the Colombians to ignite an arena.
Here come Denmark, long-time participants at the Invictus Games. Denmark have had 21 competitors here, all of whom trained with their local sports clubs in preparation for the games. The Danes like their sport, of course, and held training sessions to decide which sports particular athletes would compete in. The Danish flag being waved proudly. And once again, they're ready to party. They're not going to move away from the limelight. Here to stay.
Thank you very much, Denmark! Thank you very much, Denmark! You can carry on partying, but you can't stay here. Come on. Okay, next up, they're small but mighty, and we love every one of them. Welcome, Estonia!
A part of the Invictus Games since the very beginning in London in 2014, the small Estonian delegation showed big personality in its competitions all week long here, and its passionate supporters were always on hand to wave the distinctive Estonian flag. One ebullient contender has been in swimming and in sitting volleyball. It's Marcus Hopp, whose overt enthusiasm for everything he has taken on here has proven infectious. The Estonians rather, also celebrating the silver medal of Rego Roots. He earned that in discus.
And coming up very shortly, it will be to the letter F. F for France, of course. Here come the French, who will of course stage the Olympic Games next year in Paris, a city famed for its romance, and romance was certainly in the air here in Düsseldorf this week.
To France!
Yeah, the French getting their rather belated introduction from the announcer. Romance, as I say, was in the air because on the basketball court, the French competitor Didier proposed to his longtime girlfriend after one game. And thankfully, she said yes to his proposal. Didier won a silver in powerlifting. What a week it's been for him.
What a week indeed.
And they came home with a bronze medal, and they were fantastic from start to finish. Please welcome Georgia!
The champions in sitting volleyball at the 2018 Invictus Games and runners-up in The Hague last year, Georgia came to Düsseldorf determined to retain their place on the podium in their marquee sport. And they did. Mission accomplished. Georgia takes home bronze, prevailing in a 3-set thriller against Team UK.
I think the Colombians have won the prize so far, haven't they, for the most boisterous arrival onto the stage.
The French and the Danish, however, have given them a run for their money.
I think at the moment the Colombians are in the gold medal position and the Danes are in the silver medal position.
I would agree.
Let's hear it for Georgia! And now to introduce one of our debut teams, Israel!
A terrific reception for Israel, another nation which received great support on their games debut. They certainly left their mark as well, especially on the table tennis table. Table tennis was added to the schedule from the last games, and Israel was certainly glad it was. One of the mixed doubles finals was an all-Israeli affair, and they take home a bag full of medals of all colours, despite the fact it's a fairly small contingent here from Israel. And you can see from your screen, it's quite a logistical challenge really, because the competitors are filtering along the front of the stage, quite a long stage, and then they have to move round and take their seats in the auditorium, ready for the rest of the ceremony, which of course will reach its climax with the concert, the star billing of Sam Ryder. We've got Prince Harry, the birthday boy, 39 yesterday, and then of course Rita Ora topping the bill, I suppose, in some ways.
Give it up for Israel! I've come here to say, ciao, Italy!
Per aspera ad astra, to the stars through difficulty. That was the motto of the 17 Italian team members who competed here. To the stars through the swimming events went Matteo Pieropan, whose talents were evident as he captured 2 golds and 2 silvers, demonstrating his mastery over a range of strokes in the pool.
I'll tell you what, this has been so well choreographed, because the party atmosphere started from the beginning really, didn't it? There was no need to whip the crowd up, the competitors into a frenzy, because everybody was in the mood.
It's been a celebration all week long, but now with the competitions finished, you really see the joy that is coming out. It's infused this arena.
We've got friends all over the world. It's time to meet our friends from the Middle East. Please welcome Jordan!
Yeah, here comes Jordan, next into the arena. And what a story here. It concerned Rola Amro in athletics. She became a worldwide star in some ways. She'd never raced before. She even borrowed a wheelchair to allow her to compete. And her nerves, before she got to the start line, were noticed by one of her 100-metre rivals, Claire Gibson from the United Kingdom. This is a remarker. The true spirit of the Invictus Games was summed up in that very sweet moment. An abiding memory for me of these games, and for so many as well.
A huge thank you to Jordan! Now this next nation, they've been licked, they've been wrecked, they are the Netherlands!
The Invictus Games hosts from a year ago. The Netherlands delegation had a rather short commute here to Düsseldorf, as we are just less than 2 hours drive from the Dutch border. a team that adds color to any sporting occasion. The orange men and orange women were especially good in cycling at these Invictus Games. And as a nation that excels in winter sports, it will be very interesting to see what the Dutch do in Whistler, Vancouver in 2 years' time.
Unsurprisingly, plenty of support for the Dutch in the crowd. I think the two support animals on the stage are a little bemused by what's going on.
Let's hear it for the Netherlands!
You have to applaud their coordinated dance moves, too.
Next up, this team came with a spirit. They also came with a pretty mean hacker. Aotearoa, New Zealand!
And speaking of the haka, what a games it has been for Paulette Doctor, who carried the New Zealand flag in the opening ceremony. She earned bronze for her nation in table tennis, and the New Zealand delegation celebrated her success with a specially created haka, the Na Ma Tatoa, which means unconquered. It was a sight to behold, and it brought tears to Doctor's eyes and to the eyes of the spectators who watched it.
They came with traditional Maori, boys! Thank you very much! Aotearoa, New Zealand!
I think we're just halfway through the Parade of Nations.
Are you ready for some of the best dancing you're going to see tonight? The Super Eagles are in town! Welcome, Nigeria!
Yes, the Super Eagles. Nigeria taking part in their first Invictus Games. They entertained everyone with their enthusiasm and can-do spirit. We won't forget the delight and dancing celebration by the Nigerian team when they won their opening match in sitting volleyball. Unbridled joy. A special mention should also go to Peacemaker Azegbula, who won the nation's first gold medal of the Games in powerlifting. They also won a medal in table tennis, and I think they're going to just stay out there a little bit longer than perhaps the organisers might hope. Well, let's just sit back and watch this.
These guys are having it right now. Okay, from just over the border, please welcome Poland!
Yeah, the strength of the Polish team was on display everywhere you looked in Düsseldorf. In powerlifting, where Paweł Lizek won the men's IP10 category after lifting an astonishing 225 kilos. That's 66 kilos more than any other competitor in the field. And also they shone in indoor rowing, where Łukasz Kozieli proved formidable. And what can we say about Poland's sitting volleyball team? Last year's champions were favourites coming into these games, and they lived up to their star billing with a second consecutive gold here.
Let's hear it one more time, Poland! Next up, one of my favorite countries in the world. Welcome, my friends, from Romania!
Romania saved some of their very best for last at this Games. They took 2 gold medals in archery this afternoon, finishing with a flourish. Elsewhere, Valentin Popa delivered one of the moments of the Games in the men's IT5 at 1500-meter race. He was in what looked like a regular wheelchair, and he was clearly in pain. It took him 22 minutes to cross the finish line, but when he did, everyone was cheering him on, just as they had been every inch of the way. It was truly spectacular to watch, and it underscores the heart and the passion of this team.
Together for Romania! They came from the east. They came to compete. Please welcome Korea.
The Republic of Korea excelled at table tennis, winning multiple medals in the seated categories, where Choi Il-sang and Young Eun Chang dominated the mixed doubles. Lee Ju-yoon was a standout performer in indoor rowing as well, his talent earning silver in both the sprint and endurance events. The Republic of Korea representing Asia at these games, and very much part of the Invictus Games family.
Let's give it up for the Republic of Korea! There isn't a single person here that didn't welcome every single one of these into our homes right now. Give it up, Ukraine!
A phenomenal team. The courage and determination of Ukrainian competitors was on display in every contest they entered, but one of the very best moments was saved for the penultimate day of competition when Yulia Paevska, the beloved Tyra of Tyra's Angels, the volunteer ambulance corps she founded, took bronze in archery in the women's open compound event. Paevska was due to take part in the games last year, but she was captured and unable to attend, and so her 19-year-old daughter, Anna Sofia, stepped in and competed in her stead, winning bronze in archery as well. This year, Tyra kept her date with destiny and won her own bronze in the same sport, and what an ovation she received.
Yes, and what an ovation as well for Ukraine when they were announced just a few seconds ago.
Every competitor who is able looks to be on their feet in this arena right now. Elsewhere, there was Alexander Budko, who was phenomenal in powerlifting and wheelchair basketball. Budko was a barista in Kyiv who was conscripted, and he lost both of his legs below the knee when he was hit by a shell on Ukrainian Independence Day last August. He has since toured the United States with the United Ukrainian Ballet Company, dancing in a show about the consequences of war. A story that has been carried on here at the Games.
The Ukrainians just lingering a little longer on stage, and who can blame them, really? A lot of support for Ukraine after the traumas of the last 2
From
years.
the place that made me the person I am today, please welcome my family and friends, United Kingdom!
A good reception for the United Kingdom, who've had a large contingent here in Düsseldorf. Friends and family also here in force to provide encouragement. And one story that melted hearts involved Danny Stevens from the Royal Navy. She competed in the swimming, not to win, but to merely conquer a fear of water. She suffered a mishap in the water during a team-building exercise while in service, and it left her with epilepsy. She came here solely to prove she could get back into a swimming pool with her son Henry, and it was mission accomplished for Danny, who swam her race and then was joined in the pool by Henry. Another magical moment involved Kennetha Franklin, known as Frankie. She wasn't able to compete in her indoor rowing event as she was doing another sport at the time. So a special event for her alone was arranged. except she wasn't on her own, far from it. 18 of her teammates walked out to the rowing machines with her, sat alongside her, and pulled away for 4 minutes on rowing machines. All the time they chanted her name, spurred her on. Teamwork at its very finest.
And we love. Well done, United Kingdom. Well done.
The emotion is palpable on the faces of the Team UK competitors.
And the UK team still filing in. Quite a big team. And the emotions apparent. The sacrifices these people have made throughout their lives, but showcased superbly, really, on a sporting stage through the Invictus Games.
I'm not sure if there's anybody left in the United Kingdom. They're all here.
Some of them have applied to compete at the Invictus Games 2 or even 3 times before being selected. And they've spoken so eloquently about the reaction when they got the phone call that let them know they would be competing here.
Are we ready for one more? They brought their star-spangled banners, and they came all the way from the United States of America.
Here is the United States of America, and among them the
much everything at school, so this is going to take an awful big effort. Bitte, willkommen, Deutschland! It's their stage. They carry on. We talked about this a little bit earlier on. Not only do we want to say thank you to these wonderful human beings, but everybody behind the scenes made this happen. Please welcome the friends and family.
To one of the indispensable part of every team, the friends and family of competitors from all over the globe. They are being recognized for the hugely important roles they play in the lives of the competitors. Friends and family have at times assumed a carer role for competitors. They have gone above and beyond in aiding the wounded in their recovery.
Yeah, these boys and girls, and there are youngsters out there, as well as mums and dads and grandparents as well. They've made huge sacrifices on a daily basis to support those who've appeared on the fields of play.
No matter what our competitors went through, each and every one of these
How
family and
lovely
friends,
it is
they
to
went
see
through
them
this.
get
They
their
were right there
moment
when
on
they were
stage.
needed. Thank you, family. Thank you, Brits.
The motivators, at times the caregivers, quite often
Once
the
again, a
reason
huge
why.
thank you to the family and friends of the Invictus Games.
Yeah, almost brings a tear to the eye, really, to see them
One last time.
just having their moment in the spotlight, and deservedly so as well.
We did nothing of this without every single one of them. 1,500 volunteers right across the Invictus Games, Düsseldorf.
my God.
Here's our host, Hadnet.